Alright guys, so welcome back to my channel. So here I have another build for you guys. I've been building a lot lately in this sim. I've been feeling really inspired. But as you see here, we're building a sorority house. Lately I've been watching a lot of this one show called Greek, which is essentially like about a fictional university called Cypress Road, where and it revolves around like the main characters of a sorority and a fraternity, and just kind of the ins and out and the drama of college. It's not really something I can relate to much because in my time in school, like I was never involved in the Greek system. I did go to like one or two parties, but like that nothing like substantial or anything like that. But I mean, I definitely think it's really cool, really interesting, just the whole idea of like having like brothers and sisters or whatever, having like really close friendships, even if they're like not necessarily the most real thing ever. But I'm sure people have good friendships there. So yeah, I was inspired to make a house like that, especially considering that now in The Sims we have Discovery University. I thought this might be something really fun to play in, so I wanted to make like a really fun party house. That was just the whole idea behind this, was to make a really fun party house. And so originally I had in mind to make a fraternity. And as you'll see later on in the build, I was not very successful in making a fraternity. Um, I like building girly things. I don't know if you can tell by now. I only have one other video on my channel, but I like building girly things and like having bright, colorful insides and even the outside of it too. Like I made the build really colorful, as you can see. And I could in no way just channel that energy of like building something like masculine and like, because originally I had the idea of like, oh, just have like juice kegs or whatever they're called. I think they're called juice kegs, like everywhere in the build, and like maybe like some vampire cracks in like the walls of the fraternity, because that's kind of like what I was inspired by. But it just ended up being so like pristine and beautiful and like clean and like pretty, and I was just like, okay, well, I'll roll with it. It'll be that way. I mean, I guess. I mean, maybe later on I'll rebuild, make it like a different kind of style and make it more like the rundown version. Maybe not the so pristine Greek house and the whole entire university. I'll make one of those versions. But for now, I was like, okay, well, I'll just roll with what I have and make this sorority house. So at this point in the build, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed that I've been bouncing around a lot back and forth because obviously it's a really big house. Like it took me a long time just to think about like what I wanted on the inside and like how I wanted to lay it out. Like I had a lot of issues with the floor plan because I wanted it to like, I didn't really want it to be an open floor plan, but at the same time I didn't want to be too enclosed and like have awkward angles or anything like that. So I really struggle with it. There was times where I had to like switch back and forth. I like finish one part, finish recording it, and then I would just go be like, oh, I just don't like this, and so I just scrapped it and just started again on that area. So it'll be kind of confusing. Like there's some parts where like you'll see that a certain area is not done or a certain area is already finished. And at the same time, I tried to just really cut out a lot of the extra stuff that you guys didn't want to see. Like there was like a few rooms that I did copy and paste because I wanted the house to have a lot of rooms, especially like a lot of yeah, a lot of bedrooms. That's what I meant to say. I wanted to have a lot of bedrooms to accommodate for like a lot of Sims, because not only can this house be used as a sorority, I mean, technically in the game you could use it as, I think it's called, yeah, university housing. So I wanted that to be functional about that. I wanted it to be functional with university housing, so I made sure to add a lot of rooms and to add rooms with two beds so Sims wouldn't be lonely. But although I think a majority of them were like tiny rooms with a single bed, for the Sims that prefer a little bit more privacy. I know right now you're probably not seeing not to that point yet, just because like the whole bedroom thing is more later on. I took a good time on the outside portion of it, so but yeah, I'm excited to get into the inside sometime soon. I'm really bad with like managing time and everything. Um, so that's why I decided to, just like cut up the video in a few chunks just so like the video isn't overly long. I wanted it to be kind of like straight to the point, but like kind of like interesting, like how I came up with the idea. But yeah, like I said previously, I struggled a lot with the inside, especially the entrance area. Like I was just having issues because what I wanted to do, like when I think of sororities, I think of like, the big double staircases on both sides, kind of with a little cute balcony on the inside and like a big old chandelier. And I really tried so hard to recreate that in The Sims, but it just was not working. I would get my sim in there to play it, and then she was like, no, I can't go upstairs. So I ended up having to close that off, and you'll see at a later point what I do with it. Like in the first part of it you won't see it, but you'll see it later on when I'm making the bedrooms. I ended up turning that area where I was supposed to have like a beautiful chandelier coming down um in front of the balcony. I ended up turning that into another extra room for a single sim, which is not bad because that means more sims can live in there and more sims can have their own bedrooms. So that's kind of nice. It's a good way to make a good situation out of an unfortunate one. Um, but yeah, honestly, my favorite part of the build is literally the kitchen. Like the kitchen just came so naturally to me, and I love like, cause I use a few things from Tiny Living, and I honestly love the furniture from Tiny Living, but it came so naturally to me, and honestly, like if I was in a sorority house, I would definitely want to have this as my kitchen. It's so beautiful, open and like airy, like it's just 10 out of 10. Like would love to have that kitchen in real life. I also really like the little side bathroom I made to the kitchen, cuz I couldn't fit like, the giant stalls, and that's something that was really a problem to me. Like I didn't realize how big stalls like the university like Sims Discover University stalls were. Like I had an idea because I did use them in the past, like once when I played like my run through of university, but I didn't realize how big they were. Like they did not fit. Like I was such a major failure when I went to make the bathroom in the second floor. I picked out this really tiny, like just kind of room size bedroom for the bathroom. So yeah, I picked out this tiny space for the bathroom, and when I go in and I drop the stalls, even the medium sized stall, yeah, when I put down the medium sized stalls, I realized that they're just way too big. They were way too big, so I had to just remake the whole entire second story. I just like sit down, think about a new layout that just would accommodate. Because I mean, I if you're gonna have like 8 or so Sims living in the same house, like I don't want some like made up styles. I want the legit thing. Like the Sims, they deserve their space, and it just looks way better when it's like a legit one. But honestly, another second favorite part of mine of this build is the bathroom. Like the bathroom, I don't know, I just came up with this whole idea of putting like this like curtain rod for the I don't know what it was from, but this beautiful curtain rod in front of the showers, and it looks so like realistic. I mean, obviously, I don't think that three showers next to each other without any separation is something that you'd see in real life, but I mean, just the little detail of the curtain rod, just like it's beautiful to me. I mean, I really love it. It's like it gets so close to realism, and well, as close as you can get. So I appreciated those details that I was able to add. Alright, so now that the bathroom's finished, you'll see that I actually have to redo the whole layout. And this is something I talked about previously. How I was saying that the layout before wasn't really working out for me because that main big room that is in front of the staircase, that's what I thought was originally going to be the bathroom, but I ended up turning that into like a really big bedroom, and you'll see later on it actually is probably one of my favorite bedrooms because it's got like a really big bed for like that fancy bougie sim. Probably like, I mean, if it's a sorority world, this would be, I don't know, the president of the sorority's room most likely. this would probably be the room just because of how big it is. But yeah, so I had to redo the whole layout because, the bedrooms were going at weird angles and it wasn't really working out. But I came up with this new angle that you see here on the screen where I was able to kind of tuck in the single beds into that little tiny gap. And it actually works. I play tested it. It works just fine. Sims are able to get in there and sleep just fine. And it uses up, the space, like, since it was kind of like an awkward shape, like, I just had to figure it out, and that was the best way to do it. And it doesn't look terrible, in my opinion. I like how I was able to just get the two desks side by side. They're study buddies. Like, they just like to study together. And I was able to make, like, just because of the layout, I was able to make many different room styles, like, for many Sims. And of course, like I said previously, since some of these like room shapes are repeated, to save myself some times, I did copy and paste them. But obviously, like, I changed the colors, and it's way faster moving through the process of the build where you just copy and paste it. And yeah, just assign one room shape at a time. Honestly, I'm really proud of this build. This is honestly by far like one of my favorite builds I've ever done. Because I don't think I've ever built up to this point anything from Sims 4 Discovery University. Like, it's a pack that I just haven't used as much ever since I got it. I was so excited when it came out, because when it came out, I think it was sometime around last year in 2020, early 2020. I could be wrong. Well, I don't think it came out in 2020. I think I just bought it early 2020. That might have been the thing. I don't know. I can't Google it right now. But when I found out it, or heard of it and bought it, like, I was just so excited because I was a sophomore in college. Now I'm a junior, so. And I was like, dang, like, this is awesome. This is another way to, like, just play and just relive my life. Literally all the struggles I'm going through. And so I thought it was going to be really fun, but it ended up being not that fun. So I just haven't been playing Sims 4 Discovery University as much. Wish I would have played more. I don't think I ever got to play with the Secret Societies either. So yeah, I'm glad I'm finally getting around to playing it, and definitely doing a lot more building with the Sims Discovery University furniture. It's really fun. It kind of makes me think about, my college dorm days. But yeah, as you see now, probably in the screen, it's scrolling through some of the pictures that I captured at the end of the build. I'm honestly really proud of the build. I think it's like one of my best works. I mean, the inside, like the main common hall area, like, I wish I could have filled it up with more stuff, but I was kind of running out of ideas. But yeah, like I said, the kitchen by far my favorite part. Like, it's top 10 out of 10. Like, I wish you could just focus on the kitchen, like, only. And the living room, I mean, I tried, but, like, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you would like to download the build yourself, you can go look down in the video description where I have my gallery ID, and you can just download it directly from my profile. Thank you for watching. Bye.